Naguib Abadir is a member of the Free Egyptians Party, joins us now from our Cairo bureau. And I assume you've been following all of these developments, Naguib. Your thoughts and reactions to what you have heard?
Well, I would like to start my statement with a very clear point. This is not by any means a military coup. This is a revolution. And the people has decided that Mr. Morsi was no longer the legitimate leader of Egypt the day on the 22nd of November 2012, where he took the legislature in his hands and where as well he decided to oust the prosecutor general at that time and impose a new prosecutor general. At that time also, Egypt was writing its first constitution, and Mr. Morsi decided to besiege the Supreme Court of Egypt for 1 full month. And there is no legitimate president who decides to besiege the Central Court or the Supreme Court of his country. And he only let go when he was sure that the constitution was out. I would also like to add that Mr. Morsi evaded from prison. He escaped from prison, and there was just a few weeks ago a judgment from a court in Ismailia which said that Mr. Morsi and the Muslim Brothers had collaborated with Qaeda in Central Asia, in Central Sinai. They had also collaborated with Hamas and Hezbollah, who are both terrorist organizations.
Let's get back to the events that are unfolding today. I understand what you mean, that he did, in his opponent's eyes, lose legitimacy with his own actions, illegitimate acts, as the opposition calls it, most notably perhaps that decree that protected his decisions from judicial oversight. But is there a sense there that this is harming democracy? This was, after all, the first democratic, truly democratic election, and there was a winner. Despite his misgivings, and he does admit that he has made mistakes, is this good for democracy in Egypt that 1 year into the term, he appears to be on his way out?
You see, democracy is not just ballot boxes. Okay, you earn your position as a leader with ballot boxes, but then every day throughout your term, you have to prove to the people that you are worthy of the trust and confidence. You have to remain faithful to the oath you did. And when you have about 30 million people on the streets, when you have about 20 million who signed petition that this president goes, this is democracy. This is not a military coup by any means.
I want to ask you briefly, you've only got a minute, but one of the problems for the opposition, the secularists, the liberals in Egypt, was when the election did come round, they couldn't get their act together and they split the vote, and you ended up with Mr. Morsi running against somebody seen as a remnant of the previous government. Will the opposition be able to coalesce and get a common front if there are new elections in the months ahead?
Well, definitely, if you keep religion away from politics, the elections will be fair. But when you use religion, which is a very important part, an emotional part in everyone's life, you cannot call this democratic elections. And the Muslim Brothers really abused the word religion and the word of Islam when they took the vote, and they actually hijacked the vote of the people of Egypt, who hold very dear their religion. So these were not democratic elections. This was a typical abuse of elections with religion.
All right. Naguib Abadir of Free Egyptian Paper, thanks so much. Appreciate it, and hopefully we'll get to talk to you again soon. Our coverage continues.
I'm Wolf Blitzer in Washington. We're following major breaking news out of Egypt right now. We want to welcome our viewers in the United States and around the world. A president under siege, an important U.S. ally in crisis, an advisor to the Egyptian